Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a new video, and in this short video I just want to play around with the idea that maybe the bottom for Bitcoin is already in. This is going to be an interesting one. If you like the content, again, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think that's useful. Now without further ado, let's start diving in. And here we are on the BTC USD pair on the daily. And I had a few bear targets. That was first 30k, then 20k, and then went lower even. So kind of all my macro targets have been hit. And now from the absolute top on the 10th of November 2021 to the absolute bottom that we have put in this year, Bitcoin has lost almost 78%. And that is close kind of to bottom territory, so to say, if you compare it to other cycles. For example, this account has tweet account has summed it up very nicely. This is the bottom in 2011 was 94%. That was rough. 86, 84, 78. So the idea of Bitcoin becoming a little bit more stable over the decades to come is kind of respected in this scenario, and what we mean with that is that Bitcoin eventually over the decades to come does something more like this, and eventually doesn't have these very big swings anymore after there's a mass adoption from all over the world. That's kind of the idea behind it, and therefore also the swings to the upside and downside are getting less and less over the years or over the decades. On the other hand, he also says despite two top 10 coins going to zero, two exchanges, multiple top VCs collapsing, it is still the lowest decline percentage by the cycle in BTC history. This is of course very interesting and completely true. We had a lot of headwind and still we have the lowest decline, which is kind of interesting. And two tweets underneath it says, well, let's say BTC would drop to 11k, then you only match the last cycle percentage decline. So to drop 84%, you need to go to 11k. So yeah, you would almost say how much more bad news can come out to press the price down and to go to lower territories. Well, with this in mind and this short accurate summary, you could say, well, could there be a scenario to be made that maybe the bottom is in? I have said this many times before that I am actually personally not so interested in the bottom because no one knows it exactly, and if the bottom is at 16 or 15 or 14 or 12 or 10, who cares? We are traders, we just want to see movement. That is where we make money off, and the bottom is usually a process. It's not an event, so it's not that you touch the bottom, well, that was it, and then we're just going higher and the bull market is back on. That is not how bottom formations work at all. But I have to say, in the last few weeks with the whole FTX, and that is of course this price movement down, there is just so much bearish news and the price is not really moving. Combine that with the news, everyone is calling for 14k, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9k. Usually extreme low numbers is something you see on the bottom of a bear market, the kind of disbelief, like, well, we have got to go further down. Now of course we can always go down, there can always be a skeleton in the closet or a body in the closet for us to pull the trigger and then to go lower again. But I was thinking, okay, so let's say this is something kind of a bottom formation where we are in right now. So this we don't have to talk about. This was the very big trading range where we have been in since June, so it was months before we broke down, and now we are, shall we say, a stage lower. And with the whole thing that everyone is yelling for lower numbers, and that a lot of people say, well, if we reach 14k, then I'll start buying. If I reach 13k, then I'll start buying after 12 and 10, etc, 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 etc. But remember what I always tell you. The market is designed to take the most amount of money from the most amount of people, the most amount of time. And with that in mind, wouldn't it not be the ultimate FU scenario if we just never reach that 14k? And the reason why I personally said, well, 14k is nice, because a lot of people may be expecting 10, 11, 12, and therefore we are just tapping it and then go higher. That would be nice, or maybe double formation or some sideways action around that number and then going higher. Then we leave a lot of people on the sidelines. That actually would be very nice. But then I was thinking, well, this actually could also be a little bit of a bottom formation. And to be honest, I mean, technically, yes, this was a lower low. Not a lot, but it was a lower low. I think, what is the difference? It's $80 or $100 or something between this week and this week. So yes, technically it was a lower low, but with a real new low, I actually mean something like 14 or 12 or 10,000. That would be another big drop down. Let's say we go to 14 from here, then we're talking about 15% ish. Eventually, if it happens, it's fine. I will just trade it, no worries. But it would be nice, or it would be a interesting scenario to think like, well, maybe we kind of reached it already, and that this range where we are in right now, for let's say we go maybe 1 or 2 more times, just a little bit lower, but not that much, so that 15k ish is then maybe the bottom. Everyone is expecting lower, hoping for lower, ready with a lot of money, but we never get there. And then we just range here for a little bit, and then we just go down a little bit, and we go up again, and maybe retest it, and then a higher low. People think, oh, the bull mark's back in, and then again a new low. Oh, we're going low, and that is then kind of our sideways action, and slowly we just zig and zag our way up over the weeks and months to come, and then we would look in hindsight and say, you know what, this actually was the ultimate low without anyone noticing it. Oh, sorry, something went wrong there. Another thing that could confirm that this was a low is that 10th of November 2021 was the exact high. That was where we topped out. And this bottom has been put in. I mean, this bottom was then 9th of November, so exactly a year minus 1 day. And this bottom was 21st of November, also still very close. So of course we can always go lower. There can always be a story or a narrative or whatever, or something that charts extremely overbought, funding rates, whatever, and then we are going lower. But the idea of 4-year cycles, and every year is a separate cycle within the 4-year cycle, would also still be very much respected if we find a low, this one, or maybe the next one that's not far off from here. That actually would also be a very nice FU, and then everyone would say, if I just had a look at that, or if I just would be more focused on it, then I was like, oh yeah, again, these cycles are respected. How dumb that we were just so focused on new lows that are coming in and just shorting the market, because the bearish sentiment is now tremendously. It is not just only in the fear and greed index, but also just the levels that people are calling, the amount of money that is being put in the market right now to long and to short. That's just a lot of commitment. Matter of fact, let me zoom out here a little bit and on the charts, and I hope it's visible for you. Here you can see this was the bull market. Look at the volume, barely visible, and now look at the volume here at the bottom, tremendously here on Binance. So there's a lot of commitment here in the price to place longs and shorts. So that of course is interesting to see, that there is suddenly so much commitment, maybe to push the price lower. And if then a lot of long orders are being put in, or a lot of spot buying, then it's just a matter of time before those longs are being triggered, or we get in a short squeeze, or the price is just being moved higher by a lot of spot purchases. Like I said, at a certain point the bad news kind of dries up. Then you feel like, well, we kind of had everything, and then bad news just doesn't have any effect anymore. And with that being said, the inflation probably now comes down. Who knows, maybe the Fed beginning next year will stop rising the interest rates. The market is a mechanism that looks forward, so maybe to find a bottom for crypto soon would make a lot of sense. And who knows, maybe we already had it right here at this price level. That was just what I wanted to give you as a takeaway for today. Again, not saying that the bottom is in, but from this perspective, from this point of view, we are probably very, very close. And maybe in a few weeks from now we would say in hindsight, you know what? actually that was the bottom and no one even noticed it. Would be very, very interesting to see. Again guys, if you like the content, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends who think that's useful. And also feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, links in the descriptions. See you guys very soon again in the next one. Bye bye.